The GEDCO 2020 Virtual Thanksgiving Tribute is being brought to you by
Welcome to the GEDCO Virtual Event 2020, a live tribute to hero volunteers and donors for the Govans Ecumenical Development Corporation in what has been a challenging year of community care and outreach with COVID-19 to so many needy among us. Individual volunteers, donors, neighborhood organizations giving countless hours responding to those in need for food and medical prescriptions, many requesting assistance keeping utility services, avoiding eviction, offering seniors older adult care, mental health and wellness resources. At the same time, you will learn how GEDCO stays on mission with partner collaborations in the construction of Village Center and the groundbreaking for the Gilchrist Center of Baltimore. Staying COVID safe is how donors hosted a fundraiser golf event at Eagle's Nest. This celebration of heroes is soaring into GEDCO's 30th anniversary in 2021. So, we honor this evening with tributes that include our salute to heroes and a special presentation from GEDCO's celebrity keynote speaker, Baltimore's own Dion Summers, the vice president at Sirius XM Radio of Urban Music, recognized by Billboard magazine as the power player of 2020. So now, this celebration begins with GEDCO's Thanksgiving Tribute 2020 chair. Welcome, Chris McCullough.
Hi, my name is Chris McCullough. I'm the chair of the Thanksgiving Tribute Committee, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2020 Thanksgiving Tribute. We've got a wonderful program put together for you tonight, and it is a little disappointing to me that I can't be here with you in person, or we can't be together in person. But we put together this virtual program, which we think will be wonderful. We'll start off with a prayer led by Father Joe Muth, who is the pastor of St. Matthew's Catholic Church. And then we'll move on to a welcome led by our CEO of GEDCO, Nicole Battle, and our president of the board, Tom Monahan. They will look at last year and this year, highlighting some of the heroes that have come along our way, as well as the GEDCO staff, all of whom who have stepped up in this time of pandemic to live into the mission of GEDCO. We also will have a keynote speech from Dion Summers, who is a Sirius XM Radio VP of Urban Music, and he is recognized as Billboard magazine's power player. And he is also a Baltimore native, which makes him all the more special to us. We will also have messages from some of our sponsors, including Health Pro Heritage and M&T Bank. And then finally, we'll highlight upcoming excitement about our 30th anniversary celebration, which will happen next year. We're already beginning to plan for that and really, really hope that we can be together in person for that special celebration. So welcome to this evening's program, and I turn it over to Father Joe Muth. Thanks for being with us.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the GEDCO Thanksgiving Tribute. This is a great opportunity for us to be grateful for all that has happened with GEDCO in the course of the year. But this year particularly, even though we celebrate our volunteers every year, our volunteers this year have been specifically wonderful because of the COVID-19 pandemic we've been involved in. So we're honoring what we're calling heroes, special volunteers this year who have helped GEDCO get through the difficulties of the pandemic. And we're so grateful for their energy, their creativity, and the work that they've done to make GEDCO work. So Lord, we ask that you bless our volunteers. We thank you for our heroes. GEDCO could not do what we've done this year without these hero volunteers. And we thank you for all the generosity of their lives. And they're going out of their way with extra time and extra effort to make GEDCO function in a beautiful, wonderful way. We thank you, Lord, for all these hero volunteers and ask that you bless them and their families for all the work that they've done, and GEDCO for the work it accomplishes throughout this city now and forever. Amen, amen, amen.
Thank you, Father Joe, and welcome everyone. My name is Tom Monahan. I'm the president of the board of GEDCO. I've had the honor of serving in that capacity for the past 3 years. We're excited to have you all here. I know that another virtual meeting is probably not high on everybody's list. We encourage you to make this one a little different. If you've got a glass of wine, please lift it, relax. We're going to spend the next few minutes hopefully educating you a little bit about the Govans Ecumenical Development Company, more importantly celebrating our heroes and explaining how our mission has not been deterred at all during this difficult time with COVID, and in fact how our mission is all the more important and how we look forward to fulfilling it in the future. We will see quite a few heroes tonight, but I'd like to mention a few of mine. First and foremost is the staff at GEDCO. We have a tremendously hardworking, dedicated staff. They wear lots of hats. They fulfill a tremendous amount of responsibilities on a minimal budget, as you might imagine, for a nonprofit. And as you'll see tonight, their accomplishments are tremendous. I'd also like to thank our board members who volunteer and provide tremendous guidance and support for GEDCO. And not the least is are all the sponsors who you may have seen the list at the intro. If you wait till the end of the video or our session tonight, you will see a list of all of the sponsors. I would particularly like to highlight our long-term friend John Heller at Health Pro Heritage, PNC Bank, M&T Bank, and the law firm of Goodell DeVries. I would like, because I always worry that GEDCO is a hard organization to understand, to spend a little time introducing you to GEDCO. You're going to hear throughout the evening a little bit about the people, the most important part of GEDCO, and our heroes. Let me start off, however, by taking you on a tour of GEDCO, and I think if you follow me along, everything you see for the next hour or so will be a little more easy to understand. If you can join me in your imagination, let's start at 33rd Street. Many of you, like I did when you came to Baltimore, love to go to see the Orioles play at Memorial Stadium. Well, somewhat surprisingly, about 15 years ago, after the Orioles moved to Camden Yards, Baltimore City awarded the development rights to the plot of land on which Memorial Stadium formerly stood to this little nonprofit named GEDCO. Since then, if you drive by or if you walk around the property with me right now, what you will see are 5 buildings dedicated to affordable housing for seniors. And that was the dream of our founder, Jack Sharp, who gathered 6 other ministers and a total of 7 congregations to start GEDCO, principally to provide affordable housing for seniors in the north part of Baltimore City. Those 5 buildings now house over 450 seniors. They sit adjacent to a skilled nursing facility. On the property, you'll find our partner, the YMCA of Maryland, which has a beautiful facility and is in the process of expanding it. And on the southeast corner of that property, you'll find the Village Center, a $26 million endeavor, the brainchild and baby of Nicole, who I'll introduce to you in a minute. And we are thrilled that that facility will be opening in early 2021. It will house an additional 70 residents and provide over 30,000 square feet of commercial and retail space. We're also thrilled that the Gilchrist Center has broken ground on the northern edge of our property at Stadium Place, where they will move the only hospice in Baltimore City to our campus. In the middle of that campus is a beautiful baseball field, which our partner, the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation, is responsible for, and which is shared almost nonstop by the citizens of Baltimore. A fun fact is one of those is the football team from St. Francis Academy, which just Saturday, a 4-part documentary on HBO started playing about St. Francis. Let's all get in the bus now. We're going to head west on 33rd Street and turn right up Greenmount Avenue. And as we head north, the first place I'd like you to look out for is in the Radford Winston neighborhood. If you turn left on Notre Dame Lane, you'll see an old Victorian mansion. GEDCO developed that mansion into more residence for seniors. It's the Gallagher Mansion. If you then turn back across York Road, almost directly across the street from the Gallagher Mansion, you find Micah House. Micah House is another GEDCO development where 30 men and women formerly homeless now reside and have a permanent place to live. Let's get back in the bus and head further up York Road. Soon we will cross Woodburn, and to your left you'll see St. Mary's Catholic Church, behind which is the CARES facility, and you'll see a lot about CARES in the evening tonight. That's where we house our pantry and also the CARES Connection, which provides eviction prevention services, utility cutoff aid, and job seeking help for the citizens of North Baltimore. Let's head further up the street. Soon we'll get to, let me make sure I've got my bearings. Yes, we'll come to the intersection of Bologna and York Road. And there off to your left, you'll see the original development and the brainchild of Father Jack Sharp, which is Epiphany House, which is yet another affordable housing development for seniors. And finally, if we continue north on York Road, past the Staples, and perhaps you get to North Avenue. If so, you've gone too far. But right on your left is the M&T Bank, where one of our board members, Ken Stewart, ably manages the operation. So turn back around. About 100 yards below the Senator Theater is the Govans Presbyterian Church. And behind that is the Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Senior Center, where GEDCO provides tremendous programs for the seniors of North Baltimore. I wish we could continue our tour because we've missed the Harford House on North Avenue, where we house 26 formerly homeless men, and we also have additional housing for disabled individuals, the Ascension Homes. It's a major undertaking, and the person who leads it and has for the past 7 years is another hero, Nicole Battle. Nicole, would you take it away and tell us a little bit about the mission of GEDCO and how we have survived in this period of the pandemic?
Sure. Thank you, Tom. Good evening, everyone. You know, if I was with you in person, you'd all be getting hugs. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We are so grateful that we were able to still get together with you, even though it's virtually via Zoom. As you know, GEDCO's mission is to provide affordable housing and supportive services for older adults and people who are formerly homeless. We also provide emergency services to people in the community. We have been doing this for 29 years, so I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing you all and hugging you all for our 30th anniversary next year. As Tom mentioned, you know, this year has definitely not been what we expected, but we are so grateful for the outpour of kindness and support and just people who just so unselfishly have given their time and their resources to really help GEDCO meet mission. You know, this year also reminded us that all those excuses that we had about, oh, I can't work from home, I can't spend time with my babies, you know, I need to work all the time, I can't, you know, take a walk, what have you. We realized that, in fact, we can, and we can be efficient in what we do, both professionally and personally, and get some time in with our families. Starting in late March 2020, many realities were unveiled that we knew existed but never really talked about. Really, the pandemic, the social or racial injustice that we've seen in the community is stuff that we've seen, but it just became more apparent while we were all at home watching TV during the pandemic. This pandemic and continued unrest further highlighted the racial injustice and inequalities that we also see in our communities and our cities. As we've navigated through the 8 months and continue now, there have been leaders, heroes who have just shown up in our communities and within our families and within our circles to really help our residents, our participants, and our clients during COVID. These are people who risked their lives, not knowing anything about COVID in March or April. They just showed up. And for us, that's really the reason why we changed what type of event we were going to have this year. We really wanted to recognize those people who just literally, their kindness is what kept us going. So thank you all. These heroes include staff, volunteers, board members, member organizations, community partners, who even during the time of this unrest and of this unknown virus that no one knew about, showed up. We had 252 volunteers contribute over 2,700 volunteer hours between April 1st and September 30th. We had organizations such as Youth with, partnerships such as Loyola, Winston Govans Community, Woodburn McCabe, a lot of our friends in the York Road Partnership, just really help us to feed our residents and also the surrounding communities along the corridor. We had also making sure that they were all safe and keeping themselves as well as those people that we were serving safe. We had over 6,200 bags of food that were donated by individuals and organizations, allowing us to respond to over 3,100 requests. Monetary donations helped 68 households keep their utilities on and 70 households avoid eviction. And please note, we are very much aware that as the pandemic continues, and we're seeing this through our CARES program, that the number of evictions will continue to grow, the need for eviction prevention will continue to grow, as well as the need for utility assistance. Also during this time, we helped over 43 individuals get their medical prescriptions. Rachel and later Joe Santa Maria, our newest staff person, were able to also continue to keep CARES open 6 days a week during the pandemic. We made some modifications in our operations, but with CARES, we couldn't make modifications. The need was so strong that we had to continue to meet the needs of the people that we serve. This pandemic was extremely hard on our older adults. During this time, we've seen an increase in social isolation and negative effects on mental health. During this time, we had to cease all in-person social activities in all of our common areas and in our buildings. At Senior Network, which is one of our bustling senior social centers, all of our in-person classes and trips were canceled. If you can imagine, anybody who's a member of Senior Network knows this was just awful. The center changed their entire programming to a virtual platform, while being very creative and creating a virtual senior center so that we could open it not just to our members, but to anyone who wanted to participate. At times, we would have over 100 seniors participating in virtual classes monthly as a result of the outreach efforts of Gwen and Diane, who run the Senior Center, and our volunteers. In our older adult communities and homeless and supportive services communities, our service coordinators, Servants for Seniors, Edna Gardens Lakeside Community Association, the Y of Central Maryland, York Road Partners, board members, and other friends of GEDCO provided 3,185 instances of support to our residents at Epiphany, Gallagher, and Stadium Place. This support included distribution of food, daily check-ins, assisting residents with benefit applications, and providing health information and mental health and wellness services, all in an effort to keep those who are most vulnerable safe, COVID-free, and to minimize the anxiety caused by COVID-19. From a real estate perspective, Tom did the virtual tour and took you through Stadium Place, but we were very fortunate with our partners, commercial development, commercial construction, to continue to keep the Village Center moving. Construction has progressed, and we hope to open the end of January. Also during this time, our friends and our colleagues at McKinsey were able to secure 3 leases. So right now, we're still leasing up the Village Center, so if you're interested, please reach out to us. But we have Dunkin' Donuts that's coming there. We also have Polish Spa and Nail Service. And then we also secured the rehab center from MedStar. In addition to the Village Center, as Tom shared, our friends at Gilchrist have started construction on the Gilchrist Baltimore Services Center. I'm really excited. I was just on site today, and I had a wonderful view of just all the construction that's going on. They've just about finished the foundation, and they're working on the second level of the building. But when Gilchrist comes, we will have just, additional services that are offered not only to our residents, but also to the community. And this is the only residential hospice community in the city. So we're super excited about Gilchrist coming to Stadium Place. During the pandemic, we were also able to amend our zoning, PUD, for Stadium Place. So we now have the ability to have up to 8,000 square feet of restaurant space if we're able to get to that point where people are comfortable going to restaurants. And in April of next year, the Y of Central Maryland will build the Head Start, take that out of their main building, as well as build a pavilion on the site at Stadium Place. When numbers were low and anxiety was high, we had our first and only in-person fundraiser at Eagles Nest Golf Club. We had a whopping 104 golfers show up. This was our most successful golf event yet, and we're extremely grateful for new and old friends who came out to support GEDCO and our programs, and who you will hear from tonight. And we also had probably like the best weather ever in the history of GEDCO golf tournaments. The call has been and continue to be answered this year during the pandemic. GEDCO has been able to stay on mission because of the heroes we honor this evening. So join us as we continue to hear from our heroes, and thank you guys so much for attending this evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John Heller, CEO of Health Pro Rehabilitation, and we're pleased again to help support GEDCO in their Thanksgiving tribute. Health Pro is a team of over 12,000 physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech language pathologists. And this team has demonstrated the highest level of professionalism in treating the country's most vulnerable population of elderly in nursing homes, assisted living, independent living centers, and in their homes throughout this pandemic. That team is true heroes. We want to congratulate Nicole and her team on another extraordinary year and thank them for their dedication to their mission. And as I said in my remarks last year, I don't think there's an organization in the city, the state, maybe in the country, that impacts so many lives in such a meaningful way as GEDCO does, and with relatively little name recognition and a relatively small budget. Again, as I said last year, I encourage everyone listening here to introduce colleagues, friends, family, neighbors to the great work that GEDCO does. Encourage them to go down, see what's going on in the GEDCO sites, and encourage them to volunteer or lend their financial support. Just generally get engaged with all the great work that GEDCO does. So anyway, Nicole, congratulations, and hope everyone has a fantastic evening.
And to me, the heroes are the people who come out and donate food to us during this COVID time, and people who come and volunteer with us. They help us pre-pack the bags that we're giving out. They help us organize the pantry, and they help us get financial assistance to people, and they help us with our job search program, helping our job seekers in this difficult time.
What a hero means to me is someone who shows great kindness even when it's not convenient to do so.
I started out coming up here, and then I started volunteering, and then I just kept coming because I feel like if they care enough to help us, why can't we care enough to help them? They have different programs to help people go get job search, pay their gas and electric, pay their rent, and give them food, and also inspiration. And this whole staff is really nice, and they care. I like doing it. I feel good doing it. I feel real good doing it, helping.
And I've been involved with this parish for about 10 years or so. And I've been a volunteer with the CARES program that is run by GEDCO for a couple of years. It has picked up my participation, that is, since the awful pandemic, but it has been really exacerbated with the pandemic, with widespread unemployment in certain sectors of the economy. And coincidentally, I retired about, I guess, August of 2019. So I have some time on my hands, and I wanted to put it to good use by helping members of the community in which I live. I feel like I get more than I give, and I think that's true in most volunteering. I have certainly plenty of time to volunteer, but it's just knowing that you feel more invested in the community in which you live when you help people that are going through very difficult times.
Our history and partnership goes a long time, so when the pandemic started and I heard that some of the services may be closed, I reached out to Rachael and Marsha to find out what we could do to continue supporting. And we've been very blessed with a group of volunteers who understand the importance of keeping CARES services going on for this community. We are neighbors, it's like a family to us, so I've been very happy to recruit a committed group of students who have been providing support to CARES over the summer and continue to do that over the weekends and on Fridays. And I'm happy to hear that they have been able to support and provide the help that CARES needs at this time.
The neat thing about CARES is the number of volunteers that really make it work. I personally, as Director of Social Ministry here, have stayed involved in terms of the CARES Committee and meet with them and discuss their issues. The number of visits to the pantry has gone up like 66% since the same period last year, which is not a surprise because of COVID. But the really amazing thing is that they've been able to meet the needs because the donations have also been up. I just see CARES as such a resilient, flexible organization, and it's just been always a real pleasure to work with them. And as a part of a large organization of GEDCO, which I've always had a great heart for, and the wonderful programs that you all have done with housing for special populations, it's just made such a difference in this larger community that we're a part of.
I'd like to thank GEDCO for their support. When I first came about 3 years ago, I didn't know how to do computer, but now I've done learn computer. I think it's a good program that's in the area to help people. My job was open before the pandemic, but now it's not closed down for good. And I'm back out here trying to find another job. And I'd like to thank GEDCO, all the things that they have done for me.
At M&T, we really value the community aspect of GEDCO. We like what GEDCO stands for and what it stood for since its inception. At M&T, we really find value in partnering with companies, with nonprofits that are genuine in their belief of how they're helping affect the community. So M&T very early on in our partnership with GEDCO realized the positive impact that we could have, not only by helping to financially support events like this great Thanksgiving Day event, but also helping communities, helping families in the community where we have our banks. So every year since 2017, we've gotten a bunch of M&T employees together, and we've been fortunate to go to the CARES site and help put together packages for less fortunate families so they can enjoy Thanksgiving.
I'm here tonight to thank GEDCO, the board, the members, all the volunteers and partners across our city and beyond for 30 years of partnership with our university, You're educating our students in service and justice, but more particularly this summer, in true partnership around addressing COVID and its impact, not only on our local community, but also on our university. But through our partnership with GEDCO and GEDCO's resources of CARES and CARES Career Connections, our employees have had access to confidential support, financial assistance, food, and ways to support their family and their communities at this point in time. On behalf of our university, I want to thank GEDCO. I want to thank all of the members, all of the volunteers, and each of you for your regular support of GEDCO. Together, through partnership and membership in GEDCO, we can make our community stronger for the future.
We are so proud of CARES, and I want to thank all of the volunteers, the member organizations, the sponsors who have made it successful this year, and just emphasize again that we know that it's the services that CARES provides, is going to be all the more important in the coming months, as we know that people are still losing their jobs and facing eviction. So thank you so much for everybody who's contributed. We forgot to tell you at the beginning that we have a little surprise. Hopefully we can do this technologically and remotely, but we have several drawings tonight. We'd like to do a couple now, and I hope everybody will stick around. We have more at the end. So if we could spin the wheel, everybody who has registered online should be on this wheel and eligible to win a gift certificate to Dylan's Oyster Cellar, a restaurant in Hamden, who has been gracious to provide this to us tonight. And the winner is Kathleen Dickinson.
Yay!
Congratulations, Kathleen. Why don't we spin the wheel again, and Nicole will introduce our next award, or our next raffle item.
Yes. And this is a $100 gift card to my favorite restaurant, Gertrude's, over in Baltimore Museum of Art. And the winner is Michelle Farmer. Yay! Michelle is a former board member, still a great supporter, and we love you. And congratulations, Michelle. Gertrude's. Now I guess we will hear from one of our great partners and also another former board member, Reverend Lucas, with the Church of Nativity.
Grace and peace to you, good neighbors and friends of GEDCO. I'm grateful over the past 7 years of my ministry back in Baltimore that I've gotten to know intimately the work of GEDCO, served on the board, and we right now are involved most in the GEDCO Cares Food Pantry at St. Mary's. We respond as quickly as we can to help our neighbors during this difficult time. I'm especially grateful for Rachel and Joe and all the many volunteers there at the Cares Food Pantry, in addition to the GEDCO board and staff, but I see the hard work. And it is that staffing that our church is honored to support, because we know that in our giving we are making that possible. So I'm grateful for the work of GEDCO. I'm grateful for the institutional change they're bringing about and the way it brings all of our communities together. God bless you all.
It's important to thank all the men and women on our staff for really trudging through a very, very difficult time. 2020 will actually be the largest year that commercial construction has had to date. That's a testament to the tenacity of our team and our partners. In the words of the government, we are essential. And the essential part of what we do is providing housing for those who need it. So I'd like to thank everybody for staying safe and for making this an exceptional year. Working in the city is extremely satisfying and personally gratifying, and GEDCO is a major part of that progress. So I want to thank them again for the opportunity to be a partner on their project.
A hero is a person who has not stopped or can't be stopped. And this epidemic is a clear example of how some people have really stepped up to continue services to help our residents. A hero is our workers who continue to come to make sure that we maintain our clients in a safe and healthy environment. A hero are the numerous volunteers who continue to help us continue services. Numerous former residents who continue to come and mentor. Socially distanced, we have so many volunteers who, despite what's happening, continue to serve the residents of Harford House and Micah House, and also those residents at Harford House and Micah House who go out of their way to assist other residents who can't get out. So in my opinion, all those people who keep going and want to see a better place and will continue to help people despite whatever's going on, those are my heroes.
Some of the services that we provide to the residents here include connecting them with community-wide resources, case management. We also are interested in building rapport with each one of them, and we do that through conducting full, patient or client assessments, so that we can kind of determine the best way to guide some of the health decisions and changes and behaviors that they're engaged in making. And really, we're also providing social companionship during this time of COVID. And I think most importantly, we're here to give them a voice by advocating for their needs.
I'd like to share a moment of your time to tell you about the great leaders that come from Johns Hopkins. They helped me out with a lot of stuff as far as my GED, my health concerns, and things of that nature. Now I'm going to take a cooking class so I can learn to eat healthier. And they pretty much do real good. I would recommend them at any cost. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
My name is Susan Miner. I am a longtime member of Faith Presbyterian Church. What you are seeing is a photo of our church. Faith has been an active partner in the work of GEDCO since its inception. Over the years, Faith has regularly donated cash, time, talent, and goods to two of GEDCO's projects in particular, Harford House and the CARES Pantry. Volunteers have regularly helped in the pantry, stocking shelves and delivering food from our church members. But we recognize that the problem of food deprivation goes on and is exacerbated by the pandemic. In the past, pre-pandemic, Faith Church has enjoyed being with the residents of Harford House a few times a year. Of course, this year has been different. At the beginning of the quarantine, we realized that it would be really important for us to remain in touch with the men at Harford House. Our church looks forward with renewed enthusiasm to maintaining our relationship with GEDCO in the coming years.
Well, we have been with GEDCO for a long while. We believe in, helping out wherever we can. We did start a Bible study at Harford House, which was a success. We do believe that the Bible study is important during this time. We do have communion at our van, Ellerslie and McKinnon Avenue, every first Sunday. It's open to everyone, 8 to 10 a.m. Just a drive-through, just come by and pick up your communion. But GEDCO is a wonderful organization. We sow into it monthly. We believe in all the community activities that go on with the different adults that we do have. And we're just proud to be a part of GEDCO.
So a hero to me is someone who doesn't do it reluctantly, that is just a way that they do it selflessly. And I think that they do it because they love being here. They love each other. They like the camaraderie that happens when it's happening. They have a sense of purpose when they're connecting. It's the connectivity with each other that I believe that keeps the heroes coming to us.
A hero in the older adult services department consists of folks who work behind the scene, and they may not have capes, but they do a lot of awesome things for the residents here.
And when I think about, of heroes/volunteers, it's somebody who gives selflessly of themselves.
During the pandemic, I've been blessed because people are just reaching out to each other, just doing things, kind things. Some people are in their apartments by themselves, a single person. And because you call them or you visit with them or you see them passing in the hall and you hold a conversation, it really brightens up their day. I know it brightened up mine. I've been disseminating items that have been donated to the residents. I've been delivering them to the residents' apartment. We've gotten foods from CARES, from the Y, from other agencies, and we make sure that everybody gets something. I even help with the Meals on Wheels that come through on Mondays. Some of the people can't come to pick them up, so what I do, I deliver to the sick and the shut-in.
It's my way of saying, hey, we haven't forgotten you. You know, we still can do some of the things that we were used to doing. We are still touching and agreeing on that each of us are important. My favorite part is the fellowship. Being around other seniors, just being able to talk, laugh, take and share experiences. I would say it's very rewarding, not only for the people who you're touching, but also for you. It makes you feel like I'm still able to do something positive. And it means that I'm a part of this community. So my volunteer in the community that I live in, that I worship in, it makes me feel like I'm doing something positive, you know, for my community.
We are so grateful for all the work GEDCO continues to do in the Baltimore community. There's so many different ways GEDCO is involved. One of the ways that we are most intimately connected with at Govans is through the Senior Network of North Baltimore, which is right in our own building. It's where it happens, where the magic happens. So the work is ongoing, and it's the kind of behind the scenes work that doesn't make a big splash all the time, but that makes real people's lives better. And so we're so grateful for GEDCO, and there's so many other ways that they support through housing, and of course there's CARES Food Pantry. Every way that we support GEDCO is ways that local people in need are lifted up to enjoy this life and the community right along with anybody else, removing all those barriers that can be put in place that keep people from coming together on an equal footing. And so we're so thankful for GEDCO and everything you do.
Thank you to everyone. I mentioned earlier that GEDCO started as a collaboration of 7 ministers. The E in GEDCO stands for Ecumenical, and as of today, we have more than 50 member organizations, all of which are very dear to us. You've heard from a couple of the founding churches on the York Road corridor, the Church of the Nativity and Govans Presbyterian, but now we have members that comprise churches, synagogues, schools, medical institutions, and other businesses. We are grateful to all of them. They're all our heroes. We have another surprise for you. We have 2 more drawings. Can we spin the wheel? And I will tell you the next one is, the next prize is a donation of a former board member, Yvonne Oglesby Moore. She calls it a COVID survival basket. We've seen Yvonne's baskets at many of our tributes, and we look forward to this one.
Oh,
and
cool.
The winner tonight is Ms. Watchin Bruce.
Congratulations, Watchin.
Nicole, why don't you explain what this big thing is?
Okay, so if you're not familiar with Wells, which given the pandemic we all may be, this is a great crate of wine from Wells on York Road. So the next winner is, spin the wheel.
Let's get that wheel going.
And thank you to our friends at Wells for this donation. We really appreciate it. They've been great supporters of GEDCO. Yeah. William Cowdrider. I'm sorry if I messed up your name, but congratulations, William. You have won the crate of wine. Thank you, guys.
And we will get in touch with all of the winners, and thank you for being with us tonight. Nicole, we have a special guest.
We do, and so our special guest is Dion Summers. I'm looking for my notes, so please forgive me. So we are very excited about his participation on this amazing event. Just to give you a little bit of background about Dion, Dion is a child of Baltimore, having grew up on the west side and lived and attended church in the Oliver community before his family moved to Harford County. He is also a Baltimore Poly grad, where my daughter Kayla Battle attends. He's a child of radio. Dion Summers has immersed himself in music and culture for as long as he could remember. At 15, a chance phone call to his local top 40 radio station landed him an internship, his first foray into the industry. After 4 years at Syracuse University, I won't hold you to that. Given I'm a Nittany Lion.
I know. I get it.
Dion started his commercial radio career in 1994 at what is now 92Q. Dion spent 9 successful years at 92Q, rising through the ranks from overnight personality to program director. Following his tenure at 92Q, Dion spent 3 years in Miami, where he helmed iHeartMedia hip-hop station 103.5 The Beat. And then since 2005, Dion has explored new media, managing urban formats for Sirius XM satellite radio, where he is currently VP of Urban Music at Sirius XM Radio. This year, Dion was awarded recognition as Billboard Magazine's Power Player for 2020. Please welcome our friend, Dion Summers. Thank you, Dion, for joining us.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Tom. I'm honored to be here, and I thank you for saying "Child of Baltimore" first when you introduced me, because I would be nothing. It isn't even a cliche. I would be nothing if it weren't for the grounding and the tutelage and the love that I've received from the city of Baltimore since the day I was born, through my family, through my friends, through educators, through my mentors, a son of Baltimore through and through. So thank you for starting with that. That really warms my heart. And it's very encouraging to see that the same ideals that I grew up with, you know, your heroes also embody. My hat's off. I salute all the heroes. I call them angels on earth. I salute all the heroes and all of you who've stepped up and continue to step up and do the good work. I'm very humbled to be here. Thank you so much, Nicole and Tom.
Thank you. And as anyone living in Baltimore knows, Baltimore is Smultimore. So Dion and I we were talking the other night, and Dion shared that his grandma used to live at Gallagher Mansion.
Yes, small world. I love it. Everybody has a small Baltimore story like this. Like, we all have that Baltimore story. You know, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she stayed at the Gallagher Mansion in the 90s after my grandfather had passed away. And so, you know, my grandmother and grandfather were together for years. And so, you know, staying at Gallagher was her first real taste of personal independence that she had in her life, which I know is one of the values that GEDCO holds most dear. So very small world. And yeah, wow, that was just amazing. Amazing to know that.
She was probably like one of our first residents, because I think Gallagher Mansion was probably open around 92, 93. So yeah, that is awesome. So,
yes, small world indeed.
It is. So Dion, I'm just going to ask you a few questions so that people get to know you and learn about you, and really learn about your commitment to Baltimore and how you see Baltimore. One, what does community mean to you?
Wow. Community to me, Nicole, means a group of people all bound for a common purpose. And it can be family members bound together. It can be friends bound together. It can be coworkers bound together. Most times, more often than not, it's total strangers who are bound together through a common goal, through a common belief, for a common purpose that brings everyone together. But here's the thing. It can be family, it can be friends, it can be strangers. But the key to it all is that no one does it alone. No one can do it alone. I mean, it's a cliche, but there's truth in the saying, it takes a village. And that's exactly what GEDCO has, a village of angels. You know, it's funny, Nicole, I was looking for the God in this pandemic. I try to, you know, rationalize through God and say, why are we going through this? Why is this happening to us? Why is this, especially here in New York, where it was so apocalyptic earlier this year. Why is this happening? I think one of the reasons is that God is looking to us to say, y'all can't do this by yourselves. Y'all can't do this on your own. It takes a village. Let me send you some of my angels to help you get through this and remind you that you can't go through this life walk by yourself. And that's exactly what the heroes that we're honoring tonight embody. They're a group of angels sent from God. And it's taken all of this through COVID to remind us that we can't do this alone. It takes a village. It takes angels.
You know what? I am so glad you said that. I mean, God really is all in this. It has been that type of year where sometimes it feels like at times he felt like he abandoned us. But to your point, I mean, the fact that we persevered and that we were still able to meet mission, that was all God. The fact that, there were people who we hadn't even thought would just show up and help us, all God. So I'm a firm believer of that as well. And thank you for noting that. So, being in New York, how are you seeing other communities kind of deal with the pandemic? And can you share some of those stories? And in addition to that, because I'm going to add more to you so we can make up some of our time, tell me why you decided or why you agreed to be one of our speakers at the tribute this year.
Sure. So the New York question first. New York isn't exactly known for its niceties. I'll just say that. We're not really known as a place by and large where it's cool to be nice. But what I've noticed in this pandemic is that difficulty brings people together. And here in New York, for example, various hotels have opened up their doors to the homeless. I've noticed people on the street giving masks to other people who don't have masks on. To answer, to address your earlier question about community, it's our local community here in New York, and I know in other cities as well, that's embodied that said, hey, we're all in this together. We don't know each other, but we're all in this together, which makes it great. And again, values that I embody that I got from Baltimore, being a kid from Wabash Avenue. And that leads into your other question about the reason why I chose to do this. Number one, Beverly Burke, who works for your team, television icon, she could say, do my laundry. And I'd say, okay, Beverly, got you. Colors, tide, fabric softener, whatever. She's amazing. But bigger than that is, whenever Baltimore calls, I answer. Baltimore is so in my heart. Baltimore is a flag that I wave, all my life. And I just want people to just realize the greatness of our city and the great people of our city. You are truly angels. And whenever I can, whatever platform I'm on here at Sirius XM or wherever, I like to preach that gospel, that my city is truly a city of selfless angels. One of the heroes that you had earlier in the video section had said how much she enjoys showing up. And that's a key principle that I live by. 2 years ago, a friend of mine gave me something that I take with me all the time. It matters if you show up. It matters if you show up. You may think to yourselves, pre-COVID, I don't want to go to this party. No one's going to notice if I don't show up. No one's going to notice if I don't, go to this event. Someone will always, it always matters. Someone will always notice. It matters if you show up. And that's the reason why, I wanted to be here, just to kind of, relay that message on and thank those who are showing up. It matters to one person. I'm on the radio every day, and I got stuck in the rut of COVID, and I thought to myself, am I really reaching anybody? Is this cutting through? We're dealing with so much. I'm just a guy that plays hip hop records. What am I doing? Who am I helping? But I had to dig down and say, you know what? This is me showing up, and it matters if you show up. So similar to that, I want to just thank and honor all the honorees and those who are stepping up and continue to step up in a selfless way, in a very sacrificial way, sacrificing their time and their energy to do the good thing.
Well, you know what, Dion, you ended this segment well. Thank you so much for your time, and just for an opportunity to meet you and get to know you. And I hope we get to see you next year at our 30th anniversary. Praying that you stay safe, your family stays safe, and hip hop saved many a lives. So keep playing your records.
Indeed. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you to all the heroes. On behalf of my grandmother, may she rest in heaven. Thank you so much for all that you've done and continue to do for the city of Baltimore. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Dion.
Dion. Please stay safe.
Chris McCullough here again. I wanted to highlight for you some of the ways that you can support GEDCO. There are several opportunities to give in support of the mission and ministry of GEDCO. First, I want to mention our Holiday Cheer campaign. This is a program where we provide meals and gifts to our residents. You can give and help support this effort to bring cheer to those individuals. You can also contribute to our End of the Year campaign, which starts on November 30th. We ask you to remember us also on Giving Tuesday. And then finally, we have our community tax credits. If you give $500 or more, then you get 50% of that can be used as a deduction on your Maryland tax return. You can find information about these campaigns in your virtual program or on our website. And we really encourage you to think about how you could support GEDCO before the end of the year. Thank you again for being with us, and thank you again for all of your generosity and support.
Hey guys, this is Nick from Full Tilt Brewing here at 5604 York Road in the Big Govans neighborhood, right next to Belvedere Square. Today I'm here with Andrew representing GEDCO.
We're here today at Full Tilt to do a little promotional video. Last year, Full Tilt was kind enough to host a NFL kickoff event for GEDCO, where we donated proceeds to help out the charity. This year, during the month of November, we're doing a special promotion. Every dollar of every beer poured here of Box the Cat will be donated to GEDCO in support of the Thanksgiving fundraiser for this year. So come on out, have a beer with Nick and I at Full Tilt, and cheers to a Happy New Year.
Hey, cheers.
I want to thank the people from Full Tilt. I forgot to mention on my virtual tour that we were supposed to take the bus and park there on York Road just south of Epiphany House and raise a glass at Full Tilt Brewery. They've been good friends to GEDCO. Nicole, I loved hearing the comments from Dion about his grandmother being at Gallagher Place. It shows that Jack Sharp's vision almost 30 years ago of the need for affordable senior housing existed then. Sadly, we know it exists now even more so. GEDCO has stepped up and is doing a wonderful job, but we know that in Baltimore City the need for affordable housing is acute, and probably that will just continue and make GEDCO's mission that much more significant in the years ahead. Again, I want to thank everybody, all of our heroes tonight. Thank you to our sponsors and those of you who have tuned in to the end. Please consider GEDCO in your end of year giving, and we'd love to see any of you as volunteers and supporters in the future. Nicole?
And also, just to let you know, usually at our Thanksgiving tribute, it's also the kickoff to our end of the year appeal. So you will be receiving something either via email or via mail, and just really thanking you, one, for all the work that you've done and helping us this year, and then two, asking you to continue to help us as we continue to meet mission in Baltimore. It's been a great evening. I think we're all surprised that this worked out pretty well. Hopefully it worked out for you. Hopefully you did open up a bottle and were able to just, enjoy your wine and celebrate GEDCO and celebrate yourselves. So we want to wish you all a safe holiday. Please be careful. Please make sure that you and your family are safe if you are meeting with your family for Thanksgiving. And thank you again to all of our heroes and partners and friends, staff, board, volunteers for all you've done for our residents, participants, and clients. Here's to you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Shalom GEDCO. I am Rabbi Alyssa Sachs Cohen from Baltimore Hebrew Congregation. We are so honored that for so many years, we have been able to use our holiest days, the days on which more of our members are present than any other time in the year, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, to run a food pantry drive in conjunction with GEDCO Cares. And our partnership with GEDCO has gone beyond just this one food drive and has spanned across many, many years. I am honored to offer a closing blessing this evening for this wonderful virtual gala, for this opportunity to celebrate all of the things that GEDCO has done in this past year and to look forward to the work ahead. In our Torah, in the book of Deuteronomy, we read, "When you have eaten your fill and are satisfied, you shall bless Adonai your God." In Hebrew, the words are ve'achalta v'savata uverachta et Adonai Elohecha. In our tradition, we take these words from the Torah and we use them in the blessing after we eat a meal, often when we are gathered together with people that we love, sharing sustenance. On this evening, when we are unable to gather in person because of a pandemic, but still able to share sustenance with one another, my prayer for all of us is that in this coming year, we will be able to eat, to feel satisfied, and to bless our God by making certain that others are also able to eat and feel satisfied. May you go forth in the work that you do with good partners on either side, strengthening all of our steps. Amen.
Greetings. This is Nakiba Goff coming to you just to say thank you on behalf of GEDCO. I have been the Assistant Director of Older Adult Services at GEDCO since the end of February. During COVID-19, we've had several volunteers to help in the mission of GEDCO in the Older Adult Services Department. And at this time, I would like to highlight so many volunteers, too many to name, but we do have a few that we would like to acknowledge. Vince Salvador, Shane Bryant, Servants for Seniors, and Sheila Williams. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you for all that you continue to do, and thank you for your service.
Since the beginning of the COVID crisis, we've had many hero volunteers here at GEDCO Cares. Among the standouts are Ariane Owens, Barbara Dent, Jamie Halpin, Milton Kearney, Tony Joya, and many, many others.
Stay tuned for additional comments on GEDCO from our friends and partners.
Hi, I'm Kat Goodrich, and I'm the new pastor at Faith Presbyterian Church. I'm glad to bring greetings to the wide and wonderful GEDCO community from your friends at Faith. You know, I've only been here for a few months, but already I'm so grateful for the good work of GEDCO to house and feed, support, and connect some of the most vulnerable people in North Baltimore. Thanks to everyone who's given their time and resources to make sure that hungry people have food to put on their table and others have a safe place to sleep at night. As this pandemic has pushed so many more into poverty, GEDCO has stepped into the gap. So thank you to all who have served and given with energy, intelligence, imagination, and love. I'm so grateful, and happy Thanksgiving.
My name is Marie McSweeney Anderson. I'm the Assistant Director for Loyola University Maryland's York Road Initiative. I'm also a resident of the York Road community, and I act as Corresponding Secretary for the York Road Partnership. I also have the privilege of being the market manager at the Govans Farmers Market on York Road. The York Road Initiative is a university-wide commitment to our neighbors. Since 2016, the initiative has been housed within Loyola's 25-year-old Center for Community Service and Justice. The four main focus areas of the initiative are building civic capacity, strengthening commercial corridor, enhancing youth development and education, and increasing access to fresh produce. The focus area and the work of the initiative is led by resident leaders of the York Road Partnership. COVID has made our work feel urgent and immediate. However, it has also offered a slowness that has allowed us to be more intentional about where time and resources are spent. And I think that's something really positive.
Hi, I'm Christina Paglin-Allen, Associate Rector for Community Engagement here at the Church of the Redeemer. Coronatide has been a challenge for all of us in so many different ways. One of the newest initiatives that I'm really excited about is something that has just been cooked up in the last week or two. So many of our volunteers and parishioners who want to make a difference and who are also frustrated at having to stay at home in order to be safe during Coronatide. And we came up with this idea that folks who are comfortable on Zoom, using social media, and doing internet searches from home can assist remotely and volunteer remotely from their homes to assist CARES clients in job searches and in searching for benefits online. And so we're looking forward to launching this new initiative over the next few weeks.
Hello, my name is Kathy Dickinson. I'm here at Redeemer. I am the CARES liaison between Redeemer and GEDCO. One of the reasons I like being involved in it is because it's our neighbors. They're our neighbors. It's not far away. It's been very hard with COVID not to be able to be involved as a volunteer. The one thing that happened during the epidemic that I was really happy with was I was approached by the Boy Scouts, Troop 35, which is our parish Boy Scouts, and they decided they wanted to do a food drive. So I came and helped them. I think it really opened a couple of eyes of some of these young guys. High school guys were really impressed with the whole thing.
Hi, I'm Chris McCullough. I'm Director of Evangelization and Faith Formation for the Cathedral of Mary Our Queen community. We've been a longtime member organization of GEDCO, and there's many ways in which we appreciate the mission and ministry of GEDCO, particularly because they serve a community that's almost quite literally on our doorstep.
Thank you for supporting GEDCO's 2020 virtual Thanksgiving tribute and celebrating our heroes. We'll see you next year at the 30th anniversary Thanksgiving tribute on November 11th, 2021 at the B&O Railroad Museum.